butterfly. You are now listening to the WHOLElistic Soul Care Session podcast, the podcast where faith meets holistic wellness and healing becomes a whole life practice. I'm your host, JC Morgan, soul care coach, clinical herbalist, holistic nutritionist. In each session, we're going to tend to the whole you. That's mind, body, spirit, and soul through God's word, holistic health, and the kind of honest community that makes real transformation possible. This is a safe space. This is a growing space. And this is your reminder that we were not made to just survive. You were made to be whole. So pull up a chair, pour yourself something warm, and let's get into it. Before we dive in, I'm a holistic nutritionist, clinical herbalist, holistic health coach, not a medical doctor. So everything shared in the podcast is for educational and informational purposes only, and it's not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition. Always consult with your licensed healthcare provider before making any changes to your health routine. Now, let's go. All right. Hello, little butterfly, and welcome to week 2 of Golden Glory, a turmeric month-long study. I forgot. Okay, so just one question. How did your oil making go last week? Did you do it? Did you not do it? If you didn't do it, that's fine. By the end of the 4 weeks, we're going to have a workshop. That's going to cost. However, it's not going to be super duper expensive because, as I've said before, I want to make things affordable for people to be able to not just learn, but to become a part of the experience, right? So, if you did, I hope your kitchen smells amazing, which it will, and your hands are beautifully golden. I mean that nicely because I've been there. I like to eat curry, and if you're a curry eater, you know that your hands turn yellow and it might stay that way for a while. And it's fine. Why? Because it was amazing and it tasted great. Anyways, but if your hands are stained, don't worry. The stain won't come off right away, but it'll eventually come off. It takes about maybe a few days to a week. So you'll be fine. You can just think of it as a temporary tattoo reminding you that you're working with powerful medicine. Yay. All right. So this week, we're going in a totally different direction. Instead of extracting with oil, we're going fresh with turmeric juice. And we're making the beloved golden milk. So get your blender ready. It is something it tastes amazing to me. And it helps you with sleeping. So you drink it at night. It'll help you get good sleep. It's also refreshing. So let's jump into it. Turmeric's digestive and systemic actions, right? Last week we focused on external uses, but little butterfly, turmeric is a powerhouse when taken internally. Let's talk about what happens when you actually consume this golden root. So, for digestive support, turmeric supports both the digestive and reproductive systems. It supports the liver and the spleen, which are crucial for processing nutrients and filtering toxins. Remember those cholagogue properties. That means turmeric gets your bile flowing, which helps you digest fats better and keeps your gallbladder happy. Folk remedies have included turmeric with hepatitis, flatulence, and gas. Basically, if your belly isn't happy, turmeric is going to help you. It's been used to increase the production of enzymes in the liver that metabolize toxins in a way similar to Schisandra, which is another herb, licorice, which is another herb, but it's like a bark, and milk thistle, which is another herb. Now let's jump into anti-inflammatory magic. Here's something amazing. Turmeric doesn't just block inflammation like conventional anti-inflammatories do. It modulates inflammation, meaning it helps your body find the right balance. It's been used for arthritis, inflammatory bowel disease, which is like Crohn's disease and colitis, and general pain management, which is pretty cool because, sometimes some of us suffer with headaches. Turmeric will help. For the heart and blood health, turmeric removes arterial plaque. And it's a potent hemostatic which stops bleeding. It also been used to effectively treat anemia. And it's pretty incredible for one little root to do, right? Like just this one little thing, because if you go into the grocery store or you go to the farmer's market and you look at turmeric, it's not really super big when you look at it. But the way that thing works is so freaking amazing. I can say that. All right, so the power of fresh juice. Let's jump into juice. Now, before anything happens, I want to say I don't condone in the juicing diet. It is not something that is safe. And basically what it does is it gets rid of all the nutrients, because all you're doing is grinding up the plant materials that have the nutrients in it, and you're going to the juice which contains all of the sugar. So you're really not doing much of anything for your body except for dieting extremely, which is dangerous, and it can lead to so many different ailments that we're not going to talk about right now, because we're trying to be happy with turmeric, right? Okay. So the power of juice. When you juice fresh turmeric root, you're getting all the water soluble nutrients along with the volatile oils and resins. It's vibrant, it's powerful, and yes, it's going to turn everything orange, and it looks amazing. So for our first project for this week 2, we're going to do the fresh turmeric juice, and I'm going to talk a little bit slower this time in case you want to rewind this back and you want to follow directions, or you could just go to the blog and check out the article and do it in your own time, whichever works for you. All right. So here's what you'll need. You definitely don't need a dog that's tearing up a pillow. Yeah. You need 6 to 8 inches of fresh turmeric root. If you can't find fresh, we have a powder option below. You need a half cup of filtered water. You need a blender or a juicer, fresh mesh strainer, or a nut milk bag. And you'll need a glass jar for storage. So here's the directions. Give me a minute because I can't have this happening. For the listeners out there, I have Pebbles, my pit bull, tearing up the pillow. Thank you. I appreciate you. All right, so the directions. Number 1, wash your turmeric root thoroughly. Don't peel it. The skin has nutrients too. Number 2, chop it into smaller pieces. Make sure your knife is sharp enough to chop through it. I know firsthand what it feels like to chop through something and the knife isn't strong enough. We don't want to find that out. Well, you don't want to find that out. Next, add to the blender with half a cup filtered water, and then blend on high until completely liquefied. When you do post blending, it not only messes up the life of your blender, but it's kind of a waste of time. Right? So, number 5, strain through a mesh strainer or a nut milk bag. Store the juice in a glass jar in refrigerator and use within 3 to 5 days. Don't go beyond the 3 to 5 days because it's not going to be good anymore. All right, so if you can find if you can't find a fresh root, which I hope everyone can, this is what you do. You mix 2 teaspoons of turmeric powder with 1/4 cup of warm water, and then you whisk it well and use the same as fresh juice. You can make this daily. It is, I don't know, it might not taste all that great, but that's why you can do things like this. Ways to use turmeric juice. You can add it to smoothies. You just use 1 to 2 tablespoons, or mix it into salad dressings, or stir into soups, or take it as a shot, which is like 1 tablespoon with a pinch of black pepper. And then you add the golden milk. You can add it to the golden milk recipe below. But let's go back to black pepper. I'm not sure that I get into that this week, but when taking turmeric, you always want to use black pepper because the black pepper is what helps the turmeric work. It's like How do I explain it? So it's like, okay, it's like an activator. When you have turmeric, use black pepper to activate the turmeric, right? Get it? Got it. All right. So, hey, we're going to take a quick pause. And I mean, it's a good one, so stick with me. If today's session is hitting home for you, if you're realizing that your mind, your body, or your spirit has been running on empty for way too long, I want you to know that you don't have to figure this out alone. At the Soul Care Squad, I walk alongside people just like you through faith-based soul care and holistic wellness, mind, body, spirit, and soul. Whether you need a space to breathe, a community to heal in, or a real holistic support with your health, we've got something for you. Here's what we offer at the Soul Care Squad. 1. One-on-one soul care and holistic wellness coaching, which is personalized to you or your root causes. Functional lab analysis. We go beyond the basics and find out what is actually going on in your body. Herbal support, nutritional protocols, and lifestyle guidance, all through faith-centered lens. And a growing community of people who are doing this work together, because wholeness is better in community. You can find free resources, current offerings, and ways to connect at soulcaresquad.com. And if you're on social media, come find us, Soul Care Squad, on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We also have a free 15-minute soul care starter session so we can get to know each other and find out if we're a good fit. No pressure, no hard sell, just a real conversation about your wellness journey. Links are in the show notes. Now, let's get back to the session. So, we'll go into the second part of the project, which is the golden milk. But we're going to call this the vegan golden cinnamon turmeric latte. This is where the magic happens. This is one that I actually really like. I really like this recipe, and I've made it, I think, maybe once or twice, maybe more than that. I can't remember. But golden milk. It's an ancient Ayurvedic drink that's warm, comforting, and deeply healing. It's perfect for cold mornings, bedtime wind down, and anytime you just need a hug in a mug. So here's the ingredients, right? 2 cups of organic plant-based milk. You can use cashew or walnut, which is ideal, because they're thicker. So the thicker the milk, the better. I personally like oat milk. That is my favorite. And when I'm not using oat milk, I use almond milk. So the second thing that you're going to need is a tablespoon of honey or maple syrup. Either one is fine, as long as on the ingredient list it says honey, that's it, or maple syrup, that's it. You don't want nothing that's not I don't want to say authentic, but you don't want nothing that has any additives in it, because honey and maple syrup doesn't need anything else but that. Another thing you can add to it is cinnamon. Ground cinnamon is fine. If you want to use the cinnamon sticks, you go right ahead. It's up to you. It's your thing. Another thing we can do is the turmeric powder, which will be a teaspoon, or 1 tablespoon of fresh turmeric juice. Another thing, pinch of black pepper. Again, because why? It's important. It increases the absorption by 20%. Again, like I said, it activates the turmeric. Directions. In a small saucepan, you whisk everything together. All the ingredients together, whisk it. And then when the mixture is warm, because you're going to put it over medium or high heat, you continue whisking for 6 to 8 minutes, or until the latte has thickened a bit. And then you serve it warm and enjoy. That recipe was adapted from the Herbal Academy, which is one of the herbal sources that I trust. So if you're interested in learning more, you can also reach out to them and check out their site. They have courses available that you can take, not necessarily for free, but their articles are free. They sometimes have like little events where they do free lessons, like the one that I'm doing right now. Yeah, just go check them out. Okay, but guess what? We're going to learn a lot more about black pepper and find out exactly why we're going to use black pepper. All right, so black pepper is crucial. It contains pepperine, which dramatically increases the bioavailability of the curcumin, which is in the turmeric. Without it, your body might only absorb a small amount. With the black pepper, you're getting the full benefit. Always pair turmeric with a pinch of black pepper. It doesn't matter where you're using it. Always include the black pepper. But guess what? I have a bonus recipe for you guys, and it's going to taste amazing. It's called the iced turmeric lemonade. I know how a lot of us love lemonade, especially in Texas. We love tea and lemonade. I'm saying it like I'm a native Texan, but all that matters is I've been here 11 years and I've learned to enjoy it. And I have not sat on my porch yet with a glass of lemonade and relax. And I might try that with this one. So here are the ingredients. 2 cups of water, 2 cups of ice, 2 tablespoons of fresh mint or basil, and you muddle it, which is like, you kind of beat it up, right? Like you get what are them things? A muddler, right? And then you start beating it up because you're releasing the juices from the mint or the basil. Another activation tactic. And then you use 3 freshly squeezed lemons, 2 teaspoons of turmeric powder, and then 1 teaspoon of maple syrup. If you want to have more, go right ahead. I personally don't like things to be super sweet. I've been drinking my teas without sugar or honey lately. So, and last but not least, 1 or 2 grinds of fresh cracked pepper, because you always got to have the black pepper with the turmeric. Here's the directions. You muddle mint or basil using a mortar and a pestle. That's the word I was looking for, the pestle. Or you roughly chop it until aromatic. That's until you start to smell the mint or the basil. Place it in the bottom of your pitcher. Blend the remainder of the ingredients in a blender. Pour the fresh juice into a pitcher. Pour into cups or over ice and garnish with fresh mint or a lemon wedge. And then you enjoy it on a hot day with your family. If you're in Texas right now at the moment, Easter brought in a cold front. But once that's over, it's going to go back to being hot. So enjoy your family. This is another recipe that was adapted from the Herbal Academy. So now we're going to go into understanding dosage. This is important. Remember that adults who are 150 pounds do not take the same dosage as adults that are maybe 115 or adults that are maybe 3 something or kids. It's all formulas, calculations, and all of these things that I'm not going to get into. However, if you want to learn more, maybe I could talk about it at a later date. Maybe I'll do a workshop on dosages. I'm not sure yet, but we'll see. So, typical daily dosages. Again, this is the average 150 pound person, adult. So, for the powder, it's 1 to 10 grams per day. Fresh juice, 1 to 3 tablespoons per day. Tinctures, if you use tinctures, if you don't know what a tincture is, it's the plant material is left in the alcohol or in alcohol or glycerin. Those are technically tinctures as well, but they're also called glycerites. So we're focused on the tincture. You place the plant material depending on what plant it is, depends on how much of the plant you use. You leave it in alcohol for 4 weeks. And then you got your tinctures, or you could just purchase a tincture with all the hard work is done for you. But anyways, that was a little mini lesson. Tinctures, you use 1 to 5 milliliters 3 times a day. The thing about herbal medicine is, I guess, the dosages, the amount of times you take it per day, which can be a little difficult for some of us. But if you're taking a lot of prescriptions anyway, you're kind of used to taking something consistently throughout the day. So there's no excuse, right? So we're gonna start low dosages, and then you work your way up, paying attention to how your body responds. Somebody who has certain ailments, they may need more than somebody who doesn't. So it's a lot of things to factor in. It's a lot of things to study. I mean, that's why you have some people who are doing it clinically and some who aren't, because it takes a lot more to be a clinical herbalist than I guess most people really understand. Because for one, some people don't even know what that is, and two, I guess people think I just fiddle my thumbs all day or whatever, or that I read a book and said, hey, I'm a herbalist, so let's go. And that's not even it. That's not even half of it. But let's get back into it. So this week's quiz. Our mini quiz has 5 questions. I will say it slowly so you can write them down and answer it in your own time, or answer it as I say it. So, number 1, what 2 body systems does turmeric primarily support? What 2 body systems does turmeric primarily support? 2, what is a cholagogue and why is it important? What is a cholagogue and why is it important? We talked about it last week, so if you want to go back to that, go right ahead. But make sure that we are writing these questions and answering them in, I guess, journals. Let's gonna call it our turmeric study journals. Number 3, why should you always pair turmeric with black pepper? Why should you always pair turmeric with black pepper? Number 4, name 1 cardiovascular benefit of turmeric. Name 1 cardiovascular benefit of turmeric. Number 5, how long will fresh turmeric juice last in the refrigerator? How long will fresh turmeric juice last in the refrigerator? Alright, so those were the quiz questions for this week. The reflection is, in this week, as you sip your golden milk or your lemonade, think about Psalms 104:14, where it says, He makes grass grow for the cattle and plants for people to cultivate, bringing forth food from the earth. God didn't just give us bland nutrition. He gave us flavor and healing in the same package, and turmeric is proof of that, because man doesn't have flavor. I want to thank you for joining me this week. In week 2, I hope you enjoyed this week. If you didn't listen to or watch or read week 1, you could go back to it and then catch up. Next week, we're gonna get culinary. So we're gonna have multiple turmeric recipes to incorporate this healing herb into everyday meals, and we're gonna have fun. Like, learning this stuff is so exciting. Not only because, you're learning something new, but you're learning something that God literally gave us. Like, He gave us this medicine, and you can, I want to say, maybe partially easily grow. Like, you can grow this stuff, and you could go to your garden and you can pick the medicine that He's given us. Like, He's amazing. Like literally, He gave us what we needed. And that's not just to say with herbal medicine, that's with anything. Like, he gives us what it is that we need, and we spend time saying that we need more, or I need this, I need that, I need this, I need that. But we completely ignore what we already have. Sometimes you just have to use what you have. That's why I said, if you don't have access to a fresh turmeric root, use what's in your pantry. And if you don't have it in your pantry, go to Walmart or somewhere that you can get the powdered one. And it's okay. Like, kitchen medicine is still medicine. Like, it doesn't matter if, I mean, it does matter, because you always want to get something that's sustainable, something that, you know, doesn't have a whole bunch of toxins in it. But sometimes you don't have access to that, so you get what you can until you can either afford or get access to something better. Don't overthink it, just do it. All right, little butterfly, this has been week 2 of our Golden Glory turmeric, a month-long turmeric study. And I hope you guys have an amazing week. And I can't wait for you to join me again this week. If you can see in the video, we have a special guest, Pebbles. Pebbles has been around since December. And she's a very interesting people. She's beautiful and she's very resilient. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all next week. Bye.